Hey guys, what's cooking? I watched a VHS movie last night. I want to talk to you about it. So, coming up on its 30th anniversary this year, what better film to talk about than the interstellar 1996 classic directed by Tim Burton, Mars Attacks? I mean, right off the rip, you have to give the flaming cow herd with the worst possible graphics in history some credit. The cast is beyond grade A. I'm talking all the big names for that time, boy. Jack Nicholson, Michael J. Fox, Pierce Brosnan, right off of GoldenEye fame, Sarah Jessica Parker, Martin Short, who ironically plays Carolyn Levitt in that world, Pam Grier. We have Annette Bening, Lucas Haas, absolute stunner out the gate for young stars like Jack Black and Natalie Portman just making their way downtown. And let us not forget my man Tom Jones, because it's not unusual, dude. I'm just saying. As we know, Tim Burton teams up with Danny Elfman for a classic musical score, but at this point, they had several films under their belt, and together they really had a flow by this movie's release in 1996. The script by Jonathan Gem is based on the Topps trading card game, which released in 1962 as Tim Burton was a fan. If you've never seen them before, you can Google them and check them out online, but I have a full set in this frame right behind me here, and that is complete. So check that out online if you need to. But now that we are on to trading card games, especially with 1990s nostalgia, before we get further into the movie, I want to do a little segment that we call Don't Be Whack, Open a Pack. We just picked up a Pokemon trading card game, Mega Evolution Ascended Heroes First Partners Deluxe Pin Collection, because I don't know about you guys, but I just can't get enough of these bad boys. So, with these promos, what we're going to do is rip a pack. Stay tuned. These have been some of my favorite sets. Getting back into it, I love the Ascended Heroes. I've had really good pulls with these. This set comes with 5 booster packs of the Ascended Heroes. It comes with a special pin with 3 of the starter performers. And it comes with 3 promo cards. I have Totodile, Tepig, and Chikorita. Dope. And without further ado, just because I don't want to keep y'all waiting, let's burn this bad boy and see if we got anything golden. I've been playing this since I was a kid. I mean, I'm 35 now, but I got to tell you, nothing has changed from the late 90s to now with that feeling of opening a pack and just the exact and adrenaline rush is off the wall. I really think they know what they're doing with this stuff, man. We're going to save our live card. All right. We are going to take our energy card to the side, as they often do. I know that some of these guys that do these card openings, man, they got all kinds of stuff going on. We're just going to roll with it. We've got a Meryl, Stunfisk, Galarian Lanoon, Erica's Oddish, Team Rocket's Petrol, Erica's Weepin' Bell. I do not have that one. That's a nice pull. Prism Energy, Snom, Team Rocket's Tarantula, and Team Rocket's Spite Ops. Absolute trash, but that's okay. We tried, and that's all that you can do. And next time, hopefully, we'll pull some fire, but this time it was worth a shot. Anyway, without further ado, back to our juicy review. Huge credit also to Jack Nicholson for not only playing the president, but also a Randy Savage Macho Man millionaire ripoff, and nobody would have known the difference. It's pretty decent. Natalie Portman's character choice name, Taffy, is certainly of note. We're going to be discussing in this series foods in films that look delectable, if you will. We will highlight which films possess these treasures, and this film happens to be one of them, the pizza that Taffy eats, which is brought to her on a silver platter by a butler. Looks delectable. I don't know if it's specifically the pizza, but it may very well be the fact that it was brought to her on a silver platter. Ding, ding, ding! Special moment of silence for the Twin Towers at 9 minutes and 22 seconds of this film. These are treasures that you may or may not get often, and when they do, you must remember them. So like I remember this specifically when this came out. My dad took me to see it in theaters, and oh my god, these aliens scared the crap out of me, dude. Like they were like so freaky and stuff. You know what I mean? Like they got these weird heads, and it's just like I hadn't seen anything like that, man. I mean, you're just like, whoa. Furthermore, like honestly, the graphics were not bad in this film. It was a pretty good representation of something like that, even for the time. So it was super entertaining. And just like little stuff like, oh, there's the dad from Joe Dirt, by the way. There's this little thing for you just in case. I love little stupid facts. That's what we do around here. A little Colin Powell action. Look at this guy. Oh yeah, nah. No handshake for you, bub. No respect. You know what I'm saying? That means go f yourself in Martian language. Ah, yes, now they're getting it. That's good. Absolutely petrified me. You know? Like, look at that. That's fucking scary, dude. I wasn't about it. And that is just boom. And then all hell breaks loose, you know? And it's like, I mean, if it was me and somebody released a dove in my presence, I think I would lose my cool as well. So I can't necessarily blame those little Martian fellas. But at the same time, this is like, look at that, bro. Like, that's insane. I loved it at the time. It definitely was a vibe. I remember when this would come on cable television. So after movies were released, you didn't see them for a while. It took them a good minute to go and release them, even on VHS. So when a movie like this came out and then it hit TV on cable television a few years later, some of you Gen Z cats don't even know what cable television is, but you didn't have a whole lot of options. And of course, you had to kind of wait for something to come on. And when it did, you were psyched, man. I mean, this was something to get excited about, even if you had to endure commercials, And again, something else you probably don't know about, but it was a time. It was a time, you know. You don't have to envy it, but you can definitely sit and understand why the nostalgia is there, I suppose. Back when I was a kid, if you wanted a video and your parents loved you, they would take you to Blockbuster. If they didn't, they would take you to some random video store run by a guy who looks like the creator of The Simpsons, who had stains on a white t-shirt and a room in the back covered by a thin sheet which had skin flicks because Pornhub wasn't a thing. I'll take Blockbuster any day, but regardless, these are the types of treasures that you just can't get enough of. I mean, before DVDs, before streaming, before any of these services, this is what we had. And sometimes it's nice to just get back to that. Feel a little bit of the way it used to be. I don't know. But regardless, this classic is just, I can't say enough. I really can't. I think Tim Burton totally knocked it out of the park. This was great. Like, look at that with the skeletons where they're all red and stuff. Like, that was so dope. That was so well thought out, because you're taking a scary, scary scenario or something that, you would consider like an R-rated film type thing, and you're making it more palatable. Again, Jack Black, you can't beat that with some of his early roles. Like, they were hilarious. He was totally himself, and you got to love him, man. Hilarious. It doesn't get much better than that. We still haven't talked about the absolute hero of this film. The hero, Grandma. Played by Sylvia Sidney, we have a woman who truly just couldn't give a damn about anything. I mean, if you think about it, she was completely separated from reality while the world is falling apart. All she wanted was her Muffy. But as we see in the film, the entire world is saved in the 0 hour by none other than Grandma and the ethereal sounds of Slim Whitmore's yodeling. Without spoiling the film entirely, what I will say is that music is no good. And if we were invaded, it probably would be the reason that they died. Not guns, not ballistics, not even fire. Slim Whitmore. This was a time. Again, Jack Nicholson as the Macho Man Randy Savage billionaire guy, and it's like insanely talented of that man to be able to play two roles in this movie without even really skipping a beat. Nobody really, I mean, but you don't know until you like really double look. You know what I'm saying? So for all you out there talking about, Michael B. Jordan and his dual role in Sinners, just remember that there are others who have done this prior. So it's not the first time, okay? Let's give it some credit even back then. Now, before you get upset with me, Sinners is a good movie, okay? Okay? It's a good movie. I like it. Please don't cancel me. Don't shut me down. I just started. Sinners is a good movie. Anyhow, once they start, getting more and more through to this movie, they don't take themselves too seriously. And that's an important part here is like, we want to enjoy it, and they know it's a silly concept. So we're not delving too deep into it, and we're not taking ourselves too seriously. I think that's the mojo that made this movie work. It really was, again, like a fan thing for Tim Burton, who really loved this. And, by that time, like I said, he had some traction. This is several years after things like Batman 1989, Batman Returns, Edward Scissorhands, Nightmare Before Christmas. He had his chops. So at this point where he has had this success, he was able to get these big name stars and have a good time doing it, And that's what made the magic with something like this. Nightmare fuel, all right? Taking a dog's head and putting it on Sarah Jessica Parker's body, I mean, possibly an improvement, but it was still not something that I, as a 6-year-old kid, was really ready to handle. I don't think that was, I don't know, but it rocked me, man. And then again, of course, really what it boils down to is getting into the hilarity of the ending, where we're not taking ourselves seriously. As I said, we have Tom Jones on stage singing It's Not Unusual, because, dude, it's not. We've discussed this. But he gets off stage, he breaks the third wall, he's like doing all that stuff. Is it the fourth wall? He breaks the fourth wall, and he's doing all this stuff to try to like escape at the end, and they're kind of like bringing him along. And again, Sylvia Sidney's character, the grandma, and like accidentally killing all of the Martians with the high hertz volume of her music was just, it's beyond comedy gold. So bravo to Tim Burton for creating such a masterpiece, in my opinion. It's always been super cult followed. A lot of people love this movie. It's definitely a banger. I'm going to say that overall, the film gave me what I needed. All right. It had action, suspense, it had laughs, it had a retro vibe, nostalgia that, anytime Tim Burton teams up with Danny Elfman, you are guaranteed for a good time. It's sure to be a banger. I'm giving this film a solid 8.9 out of 10. And I would highly, sincerely recommend watching it on VHS for full maximum rerun effect. And that's really all I got for you this time. This is expired reviews from the Retro Room with Juicy Jake. We will be back with some more of these, and stay tuned.